Hello, and welcome to Four Lives Left, a retrospective gaming podcast where we play some of our favorite
or not so favorite games
to give you, the listeners, some new perspectives on beloved
or abhorred games of our collective past.
I'm Billy.
I'm TC.
I'm Ace.
And I'm WB.
So without any further ado, let's get on all fours and get busy.
Right on, today I am everyone's daddy. Welcome. And I had you guys play Bioshock. Now, quick for those of you who have been living under a rock since 2007, Bioshock came out in 2007. It was published by 2K Games, and it's a first-person shooter with a couple other extra caveats, some extra gameplay loops we'll talk about. But in general, you're going to be asked to visit an undersea city, Rapture, where Anne Ryan's philosophies get to come to life. Basically, what happens, as we'll find out later, what happens when Andrew Ryan asks the question, is a man not entitled to the sweat of his brow? And then the rest of the game pretty much goes from there. I don't want to spoil anything. I do want to jump right in here with first impressions, and I want to pick on WB first. First impressions, WB.
Yes. So I played the game when it first came out, but coming back to it after a long hiatus.
Almost 20 years.
Probably, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Jesus.
It's it is.
I hate that.
Right, that feels bad. It is still a good game. I don't know if because I'm playing the remaster that there's some hiccups and bugs that I noticed, but I mean, yeah, still holds up to how I remember it. It's dark and moody, pretty creepy, but also a really cool concept.
Billy, what do you think? First impressions.
First impressions is this game grabs you and takes you right in. It does not let you breathe for about the first 10, 15 minutes. I mean, you're in a plane crash, you're swimming in the ocean, then you're trapped in an elevator, somebody gets murdered outside your elevator, and then you're trying to figure out what the hell is going on. But one of my favorite things that kind of captured me for playing this game for the first time in a while was just that ride going through Rapture during the intro, you know, where you see all the construction and like, wow, you are so deep underwater. Like, what is this world I'm about to explore? So my first impression was they grab you and they don't let you go.
Mm-hmm.
So they such a good job.
Absolutely.
A good job.
TC?
This is almost better described as a movie. With that being said, the gameplay is amazing, but you truly feel like you're along for the ride, which is thematic with what we'll touch on later. But yeah, you go in and at first glance you're like, man, this is incredible. By circumstance, I made it to this wonderful place that no one knows about really. And then you get in the little submarine and it takes you through and you're in Fantasyland, you know.
Yep.
Looks gorgeous, everything's beautiful. There's even a repairman, as far as you know, repairing part of the place. You're like, okay, you know, they got a pretty good infrastructure set up here. And then there's a brutal murder the moment that it rises into the city, which sets the tone very well. Yeah, first impressions are you have no clue what you're getting into, and that feeling never stops.
I agree. My first impressions, I'm playing it on the original hardware. So I'm on PS3, original 2007 release. I don't have any issues. And the first thing I remember thinking, and it still hit me today, was this game is gorgeous for 2007. That water and that fire look fucking real.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah, no, absolutely.
how the hell is this happening on my PlayStation, which looks like a potato normally? Yeah. Other than that, the impressions I had out of that was the same. An initial, what the fuck? You get this beautiful city. I mean, they really line you up, right? They show you the whole city. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. Oh my God, I want to explore this whole thing. And it is perfect for the story that you're like, wow, it's like a moment frozen in time. Quite literally, you don't know. It really is a moment frozen in time. Yep. We'll get in that in a little bit. Let's pop the story. In general, the story is you awake in an inky black ocean. You're surrounded by fire. A plane's just crashed. This is all you're given. And then you're left with one safe haven from the fire. Ooh. There's a light tower. We'll go in. There's big statues. If you know anything about Ayn Rand, immediately you're thinking Atlas Shrugged. And that is the point. It's supposed to be very evocative of that language. And then you end up going to this beautiful undersea city where you see a murder. Hopefully someone's there to help you. And luckily we have Atlas, who's going to ask us if we would kindly take the radio and help his family out. And the adventure begins. This is the story. At least we'll leave it for now. As we jump in, anyone want to talk about anything to add on story narrative before we go through that atmosphere, the immersion? What's it like to feel the game? Hit me, WB. Got anything for story or narrative you'd like to touch on right now?
Freaky as fuck beginning. Just seeing someone get absolutely eviscerated, and then if I remember correctly, they just climb.
They just
in-
peace out.
Yeah, exactly. They just climb on the ceiling and they're gone.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I mean it is. But yeah, I don't know. We'll talk about it more later. But it's awesome.
Billy, anything to add about our story?
I mean, it's hard to add to the story. I don't want to get too far ahead because I know it's going to be a rabbit hole because this story is insane. I think so, at least.
Yeah.
But no, I'm going to pull my brakes here before we get too far ahead of ourselves.
TC?
The only thing I'll add, and this will become more prevalent later for those of you who don't know the story of Bioshock, is in the first opening scene when you're on the plane, you're holding a gift, you have somewhere to be, presumably to give somebody a gift, and you can see in that moment that your protagonist has a few tattoos on his wrists that appear to be chain links. Now, I'm not going to get into it right now, but that is hugely thematic and something that absolutely needs to be remembered. But what's crazy to me is when we get into it, that right there, it is such a big clue as to what it is that's
Oh, yeah.
going to be happening.
I think this game does a great job in their story of they tell you the end, like
Oh, yeah.
right at the beginning.
Mhm.
And if you really want to know everything, you have to read the books. You got to play the second game. By the way, our protagonist's name, he has a name. It's Jack. You never find that out
No,
unless you read
you
the
don't.
books, by the way. They don't tell you that.
Yeah.
Did you read the books?
I have read every book. I
Did
have
you?
played all the games. I fucking love this game.
That's so cool. I didn't know they even had books.
Yeah, me either.
I had
They're
no
pretty
idea.
good. I'll recommend some at the end if
Okay.
you'd like. Let's talk that atmosphere immersion. Clearly, it's dark. We're jumping right in. We're leaving the bathysphere. This is the vehicle we get. It's our
Mhm.
taxi cab service. And what are you left with? I think the game does a great job for immersion. It tells you how powerless you're supposed to feel.
Mhm.
Right? Why are you supposed to feel powerless? People are murdering around you. You have a radio voice that's just like, oh shit, it's going down, homie. And you're like, yeah, dude, it is going down.
Yeah.
Grab a wrench. Excuse me?
Yeah.
That dude just fucking has magic powers and I'm just supposed to whack him with a wrench.
Yeah.
And that's all you get for some time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Some time. I think it does a great job with that immersion. It's dark. The environmental storytelling is fantastic. And we'll touch a little bit more on that as we go through with level and world design. How'd you feel about the atmosphere, the immersion as you're playing? What'd you feel like?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think so. If I remember correctly, it was built in like the 1946 is when.
It is built just after World War II, according to the books. Right after the World War II ends, it's like
Yep.
late 50s, and then Rapture proper is open like in the 60s.
Gotcha. But yeah, no, I mean, it was the whole feel. There's like a celebration that you're going through, kind of in that first mission, where you're getting your bearings and everything, and it felt like kind of like the 1920s, like a Great Gatsby party almost. That's gone
Mhm.
horribly awry.
Pretty bad.
It's no, it's ugly. And you're just being attacked by a bunch of crazy people and you still don't really know what's going on. And I mean that is it. Yeah, and like you said, just that, feeling helpless. Like there's like nowhere more kind of isolating than the bottom of the ocean, which is just insanely inhospitable, and it feels like that. I mean, everything feels like it's trying to kill you all the time, and I don't know, it's crazy, it's riveting, I think. But what do you think?
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned like I didn't realize you don't see the sun.
Not once.
Yeah,
No.
not once. And you just the points you were just making made me go back and recall like, yeah, you're in tight corridors in this underwater sea labyrinth of
Mhm.
maze and you don't know what's going on. Yeah, you don't see the sun once until very end, depending on the ending.
Depending on what you chose.
Yeah, depending on what you go. But the atmosphere and immersion it's such a strong point for this game. In my opinion, it's what makes the game
Yeah,
because it's
absolutely.
any first person shooter can be a first person shooter game, but it's the world that you're living in, right? So I mean, you have the flickering lights, the leaking corridors, the propaganda posters, the ruined luxury. It's you're in a beautiful world stuck in decay.
Mhm.
And oh my goodness, yeah, the world building for this game, not just from what they tell you, but from what you can see, is so good.
It is
Yeah,
fantastic.
this game makes you feel immersed.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, the atmosphere and immersion, I feel, it sets it from the go. You're like, well, this is an incredible achievement. This city being here, they must have a lot of great things going on, right? And it speaks to me about like Paradise Lost or the Garden of Eden, right? Because you see this thing, and according to all the stuff you see after having seen the murder, and you already get a sense that something's gone wrong. You don't know what. Come to find out that Andrew Ryan was trying to get away from all the things that can make things like this go wrong. He's trying to get away from uh, religious prosecution because he doesn't believe in a god. He's trying to get away from government overreach from the Soviets because he doesn't want to share the sweat of his brow. Come to find out that it's none of these things that seem to be the problem, but in fact just the sinful hearts of men. And that's where immersion takes off, because you get that first monologue from Andrew Ryan when you're in the bathysphere going down to Rapture. Another quote I wanted to touch on happens later in the game, but it doesn't reveal anything too much. It's just a written text on a loading screen. It's Andrew Ryan says, it's one of his quotes. It says, "It wasn't impossible to build Rapture at the bottom of the sea. It was impossible to build Rapture anywhere else." So I think that from the word go, this movie sets the tone and immerses you in this world where all that these people want is freedom, but in getting so, they become slaves.
I think that immersion is really what drives the replayability too.
Oh yeah,
Because the combat's going to be the same.
Yeah.
The bosses, as they were, always the same. You're really on rails for the most part. But you can play the first time and just take things at face value, and then story parts develop. If you play a second time, the world building storytelling is awesome, right? We all said, okay, it's clear we're at like a New Year's party. Even if you don't track down the audio logs, which I don't know if you guys did. I'll ask you later how many, if you wanted to go get them all, and what kind of secrets you found. There's a lot going on here. Yes, Andrew Ryan's the primary voice, but I love the environmental storytelling where
yep,
early on you see things for Fontaine Fisheries, you
Right.
see Sinclair Solutions. And in any other game, it's just a made up advertisement. These are real people that you will go meet.
yep.
Not all of them in this game, but at some point you will meet all of these folks. They are in here in the world, and they all have different motivations depending on how much environmental storytelling you want to dig through.
Yeah.
You can uncover a lot of different secrets. You start to see, oh, it's not just that there was a terrorist attack on the New Year's Eve party. There's some shit going on.
Yeah.
Did Andrew Ryan remind you guys of Walt Disney at all?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I was playing when I replay this game. I'm like, wow, there's a lot of even his look and appearance,
Mhm.
and he built this huge, ginormous world. It's just I was just getting crazy Walt Disney vibe from this
Absolutely.
guy.
I mean,
So,
he built a world.
Yeah,
And in a lot of the same ways, I think it has to be the motivation for Andrew Ryan. His almost, at least in part, has to be Walt Disney. Because he physically built a world. He built Disney World. He made all these fantastic stories and worlds for kids to grow up in. Yeah, I think that absolutely.
How do you feel about the level and world design? I mean, we're talking about this great environmental storytelling, and that's awesome. When I thought level and world design, my two issues are here. First, I have two issues with it, actually. One is it's a little easy to get lost. If you don't know kind of what you're supposed to be doing, and I think that's kind of on purpose. You're meant to feel a little lost, a little powerless, but it is easy to be like, what the fuck am I doing? Where am I looking? That and the side quests sometimes you're forced to go on are so long sometimes you forget what you're actually supposed to be doing. I'm doing art now. What the fuck? There's paper mache people, and that's right. I got to go back to the real
Shocker,
story.
Ace gets lost in a video.
Isn't there an arrow pointing towards?
Listen, all right, can we all just settle?
Don't bring up a compass again. We got issues with a compass.
Eat my butt. WB, how'd you feel about the level and world design?
Yeah, no, I mean the levels are expansive. When this game was made, it's not entirely open world, but like each like I guess you could say you could break it down into like chapters. There's no real loading screens in between the two or anything like that. And there's a lot of stuff that that's not like super pertinent to what you're doing. So it really pays to explore, and sometimes it comes back to bite you in the butt in terms of just getting cornered and bone zoned. Yeah, no, I mean they did an excellent job. It's big enough where it's fun to explore, but not so big where you feel like you're lost all the time.
Yeah, I thought each area of Rapture had its own personality when I was going through it. Like the medical boards, they felt twisted and unsettling. Arcadia is lush and eerie, I thought. Fort Frolic, man, stylish and unhinged. That when we get to that point of that game, I got a lot to say about Fort Frolic.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I love how they did that. Each level had its own feel because I'm I knew this obviously because I played it before, but starting off, you're like kind of worried, is each level in each area of this game going to feel the same as the last? But in reality, it's not.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, he built an entire world down here, and you get to explore each sector of it. But yeah, I loved it.
It's a great jumping off point because um, it really makes you feel immersed. I know we already talked about immersion, but um, where you're like, okay, how much variety can we have in a city built underwater?
Yeah.
Right? It's going to be a metropolis underwater. No, no, no. No. It seems like every detail was thought of in the world design here. Because, you go to Arcadia and you're like, right, I guess, yeah, you need plants and stuff to sustain it. You need oxygen. Yeah,
Yeah.
plants do that. So
Mhm.
you're going to need that. And everything's thought of, and not just that, but also in the narrative. Um, it's very complex, how they fit in together. You feel like you're in an underwater city, and that is a constant theme, and they captured that perfectly. But what I was surprised by is how much diversity they can have inside of that sandbox.
Mhm.
How while you are underwater, this is still a lush forest. Um, what I will say is if you spot something that's hidden behind a grate or a window that you can't get through, keep looking.
Yeah.
There's always a way to get through it, to it, around it. You might have to be a little bit more creative, but you can get it. Another thing I really liked is, for the most part, you get your primary weapons very quickly in this game.
Yeah.
And so once you finally hit the ground running, after you get your first injection of Eve,
You get Eve. It's an Eve hypo for electroshock. to
that's right.
start.
When you first get that one, after that, it's all go. It's all gas, no brakes, is how I felt. Um, I didn't remember from my last playthrough the variety of guns. Great gunplay in the game, but you get your pistol. You're like, okay, I probably going with this for a while. No, same level. You get the machine gun and the shotgun. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
doing pretty well. And then relatively quickly, you even get a grenade launcher, which is fine, but it was good. I felt like it was fantastic. Um, yeah, there's something I want to touch on later, but we're not there yet.
So as TC told us, game does railroad you a little bit at the beginning. Gives you a wrench. You do your exploring. Okay, there's splicers. Got it. There's some weird meth magic going on down here. We move on. We get a gun. We figure out basically every human on this place hostile. Lost their minds hostile. Like there's no friends here anymore. Great, we're with it. And then you get electrostatic or electroshock. From there, there's only one or two more times where the game forces you to do a thing.
Yep.
It does kind of hold your hand to get to the fire plasmid. You can skip. You don't need that. You can skip that if you're creative with a couple things later in the game. And then there's some that it forces you to get. I guess I'll spoil the plot here. I play this a lot. Once you get telekinesis, you don't need anything else.
Yep.
It's the
Nope.
best thing
Yeah,
the game
it is.
gives you.
Really?
Yeah.
I like
Oh,
never-
It one domes everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
everybody's dead. It's the only thing you need.
I guess I never. Yeah. No, I barely use
Every other plasmid is garbage.
I'd like to hear what you guys use for your like main weapons, or ones that you like the most. Did
So
you have a setup?
first time playing through, I needed machine gun, pistol, rockets. The grenade launcher, rocket launcher is only for big daddies. The other
Mhm.
two is just spray and pray.
Mhm.
And then I'm a big fan of my wrench. First
Yeah.
time I played through, I was not a plasmid guy. I just never used them. Second time I played through, I was watching speedrun actually.
Mhm.
Telekinesis is the only weapon you need.
Hmm.
Telekinesis wrench, we're good, and nothing else needs to happen today. And that's how I prefer to play now. I'm all wrench. I don't use a gun at all. I shoot stuff
Really?
with my magic and beat the hell out of you.
Big
Yeah,
Daddies
sure.
too.
Yes. If you are willing to go and explore, not something the game gives you, you can level up your wrench to the point where one, it's like 5 hits and you kill a big daddy,
Mm.
and two, if you stand still for like a second and a half, you're invisible.
Yeah.
So you can just decide to peek out for a minute, be like, I need a second, nobody talk to me.
Damn.
The game doesn't tell you that. You have to actually search fairly hard for the one that makes you invisible. Worth it.
That's crazy.
That is really crazy. Yeah, no, I like mainly using the wrench as much as I can on splicers. And the electroshock or whatever it is really good with that. And for big daddies, I found that the electric buck or the electric shot for the shotgun is actually pretty solid. You can kill him in like I think like 5 or 6 hits, which was pretty solid. Stuns them, so you're not getting like absolutely smacked.
Yeah, they'll rip your asshole.
Oh yeah, no, they really. So yeah, it's usually those are my go-to in this this playthrough.
I'm a shotgun guy, always in game. I just I enjoy using the shotty, so I use that as basically my primary. Touched a lot in the telekinesis, did a lot of that, and then the wrench when I could. But if I'm shooting stuff, it's gonna be the shotgun.
Yeah.
But for the big daddies, I like using the bolts, the crossbow.
Yeah.
I thought the crossbow was really good for the big daddies.
As soon as I unlocked the crossbolt, I didn't have any problems with big daddies after
Yeah.
that. You
Yeah.
just keep shooting them in the head, and when they're giving you a hard time, you need to reload. Shock them, reload your shit, shoot them some more. You're good. But with all that being said, um, both of the wrench upgrades were attached to my combat slots, and both of the hummingbird ones where you can swing your wrench faster. It's wrench all day.
Yeah.
At pretty much every enemy, I'm just ting 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 ting,
Yep.
and then
Take a couple sport boosts in there.
and then the fifth one
Untouchable.
was the one where when you, I think it was not a plasmid, but a slot. When it was, you have to craft it. It's the vampirism
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
where you hit someone with a wrench, you get some health back.
Yeah.
So I mean, like if I would just mob through crowds of people because they couldn't out damage me, and I'm just gonna keep healing. I'm gonna keep out healing their damage. So just run through and get them. The only time there would be a hiccup with that is if I had the static shock thing on, where if you get hit and you shock everybody. If I'm near a big daddy and I haven't aggroed him, a couple times he would get aggroed and then he'd whoop my ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you do against turrets using the wrench?
You just like I hacked everything.
Oh,
That's
did you?
another thing.
Okay.
Oh, I love the mini game. It is repetitive, but I still love it.
Very satisfying.
It is.
Mhm.
So I would just shock them, hack them, and then they're gonna shoot the guys. And I would, for most of the story, I'll be honest, none of the combat felt overbearing to me for the most part. There was only a couple times where I got trapped. One time it was in Arcadia. There was a big daddy I was trying to kill. I ran out of health packs, and I kept spawning right behind him. And so I'd run out, hit him a couple times, die, spawn back, run out and hit him, and just repeat this process until eventually he died.
I love that this game gives you so many different opportunities to play differently. I do actually, one of my negatives about this game, even though I love it, they go very rapidly from a feeling of I am powerless and nothing here is safe to I am a god amongst men.
Yeah.
Touch me and you die mortal.
Mhm.
I wish there was a bit more, and that's not to say it shouldn't be there. I mean, there's the power to the people machines, hard to find, not enough to upgrade all your weapons. I wish those carried a little more weight, and less of, oh, it's fun. Now I can basically use the rocket launcher whenever I want, and it's the best thing I've ever used. I wish it was more like, if I run into another big daddy, I am so fun. Oh, thank God, the rocket launcher.
Have you ever played on the hardest difficulty?
Yes, I've tried the big brass balls achievement. That's where you play on the hardest difficulty, wrench only, all Vita chambers off. No.
Oh.
Never able to do that. But maybe one day.
Yeah. No,
That's hard as shit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That'd be fun grind though.
It is
I would do
fun.
that.
You gotta be real strategic about where you go. and
What
all
kills
that
you is the
stuff.
big daddies.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And if you play it enough, I play this about once a year. You only need to kill 2 big daddies, I believe, story wise, and the rest you can ignore. But that second one, man, it's a killer. It will kill your run. That or the Andrew Ryan room at the, where it's like, oh, by the way, F you. Without Vita chambers, you're cottage cheese pretty quickly.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So the game takes you through that first zone with Dr. Steinman. If you're just from a gameplay perspective, it looks different. It's a creepy medical pavilion. If you're curious to find the story through the books, through the audio logs, through the environmental storytelling, you're finding out that Dr. Steinman, with Rapture's rules, there are no oversights. You do whatever you want, basically. Everything's agreed upon. If you sign up, you sign up. You sign your rights away. Dr. Steinman is an artist and a plastic surgeon and basically has lost his mind. He figures out he can use this special magic goo called Adam, called Eve. Eve is the paintbrush, the specific thing you're going to do with it. Adam is giving you the powers to paint. And that's really all the context you're given. But the medical pavilion is that it clearly served a purpose at one point, but this dude is an unhinged lunatic at this point. That looks a little different. First boss, not that hard.
No.
I don't know how you felt.
No.
Did you guys fall for the jump scare in that first? There's a part that kind of encourages you to go into a morgue and do some exploring, and if you explore the wrong way, the lights turn out, and some of those doors that had open caskets are closed, and you hear footsteps.
Shoot, I don't know if I remember that. I don't know if I did that.
There's a couple jumps. There's a couple times where the game kind of punishes you for being an eager
Yeah.
explorer.
If I remember correctly, it's not the boss, but you go. That happens. You approach a table, pick up an upgrade. Ooh, shiny thing! Grab it, and then I can't remember if that's when the lights go out or not. But you hear footsteps and you turn around and there's a dude not attacking you, standing an inch from your nose. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Nah,
I did. I
think I did
jumped.
that.
It got me
Yeah.
this time.
damn. No, yeah. Yeah, Dr. Simon was pretty crazy. Yeah, no, sorry.
Oh, it's all good. And then we from Steinman. Are we ready to head to our next adventure spot, gentlemen? So we get in the bathysphere. Atlas says, "Hey, my family's all fucked up. Come help me out." And you get in the bathysphere, right? The attempt is to go where we're supposed to go. That's not where we go next. So I'm gonna pick on Billy. Take us on our next adventure. We've left Dr. Steinman in his ugly surgical zone. Where are we going next?
It's not Fort Frolic yet, is it?
No, it's
No,
Arcadia.
Arcadia.
Yeah.
Arcadia was nice.
Arcadia.
That's
yeah.
very cool.
Yeah, I liked it in there.
Yeah?
It was creepy. It's unsettling. Reminded me of one of those vault in, I think, Fallout New Vegas, where everything's overrun
yep.
by all
Yeah.
that green stuff.
Yeah, and all the
It reminded me. It gave me that vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's some creepy shit. But no, I like that area.
Yeah, it was cool.
WB?
Yeah, no, I really like that area too. It kind of had like they're like, I mean, yeah, just like rolling pastures and really cool trees and shit. And then there's also like markets, which kind of felt like the fish market in Seattle. Kind of reminiscent of that, but I don't know, it was really cool. Yeah, that's when you first get introduced to the Houdini
The Houdini splicers.
splicers. Yeah, no, exactly. Like you first getting out of the bathysphere, walking through, there's this dude that's just running by, and all of a sudden he's gone, and you can follow him, and he'll sneak up on you and shit. But yeah, no, it feels like kind of like ritualistic, just in everything that's around. Kind of like people were left to their own devices, and yeah, I don't know. It's very cool.
Filling the void of God. That's
Yeah.
what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
You go in there and every culture does it. We know this. They are making their own justifications for why it is that the human soul exists, right? And so the way that these people did it, who for whatever reason were given the gift of teleportation through using Adam, you can see that they have a lot of tribal stuff going on. They have a lot of what do you call them? Religious icons painted all over the walls, and you see that a lot more when Andrew Ryan kills all the plants. You start to see all these hieroglyphics painted on the wall, and they seem very religious to me. And then you go into one of their shrines, and they have all these dummies set up that they can light on fire at will, and they have these shrines where they put sacrifices on it, usually wine and stuff that they're offering up to whatever it is they're worshiping. But yeah, super super creepy. My favorite thing about Arcadia is that you get to see exactly who Andrew Ryan is when he's like, all right, well, I'll just kill us all then.
Right.
It looks like this isn't going my way, so let me just go ahead and kill the lungs of the whole operation and we'll all suffocate.
Yeah. That's the first time that it made me recognize the environmental storytelling, first time playing through, because you play through every other zone, you don't really realize till you get to Arcadia, there are no plants anywhere. Oh shit, huh?
Yeah.
And then if you're willing to do the background story, you ask like, what the fuck? Why would Andrew Ryan care for this? He does not. He was in the audio logs very opposed to a public park. Not a thing we should be doing. I guess we need oxygen. That's fine. That one also is one of my favorites, not just for the Arcadia. Yeah, that's nice. The death cult's weird. If you do enough exploring, they have like this pagan death cult. You don't really get a payoff. It feels like there should be one. But if you're willing to explore, you kind of find these shrines. If not, they're just weird invisible dudes, I guess. The other half, the fish markets, it's awesome to me that those exist, because if you really take a moment to slow down, it's shitty. It's a shitty place to be. But if you read the audio logs, it's supposed to be. Those are fish workers. They're not business owners. We don't care for you peasants. That's not for us.
Yeah.
The nice stuff's over here for the richy folks. I found that very fascinating. So you go, the game does a very good job in Arcadia. It kind of shows you what's going to happen. You meet another human that's not willing to kill you. We have a friend. For what, like 5 minutes?
Yeah. That's about right.
And then she dies, and you got to do some puzzles and such. Arcadia does kind of fill that little void of, okay, here's some environmental storytelling. this is going to be, I actually might have to plug into the architecture here. This was built for a purpose. And it does feel that way. Not much else to say about Arcadia. You turn the oxygen back on. We're back on our trip. And we're going to go and we're going to save Atlas's family. He keeps telling us, would you kindly please save my family? So we get back in the bathysphere. And I'm going to pick on WB next. We go from Arcadia, this lovely, lush green forest.
Yep. Then it's Fort Frolic, right? Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say, like, I'm pretty sure.
And we're sent to go save this man's family.
Yeah.
What happens?
His family gets blown up by Andrew Ryan.
Well, that's true, but where do
Oh,
we
you're,
end up
you're
next?
saying where we end up next? Yeah. Sorry. Spoiler there. But yeah, no. So you go to Fort Frolic. It's supposed to be. You're supposed to be going to.
You're not supposed to go there.
Yeah. No.
You
You're
get
supposed.
kidnapped.
That's right. Yeah. Because you're trying to get to. What's
The rich people zone.
Well, yeah, the rich people zone. Yeah.
That's all I remember.
Okay, that's fine. But yeah, but no. So you get once again, you get hit a bump in the road, and you end up in Fort Frolic. Atlas is talking to you, saying, "Hey, this area was given. Andrew Ryan gave this area to Sander Cohen. And he's an artist, but he thinks he's crazy. And then all of a sudden, your communication cuts out, and you're once again isolated even more. And yeah, no, you get invited to an evening with Sandra Cohen, and it's probably I think it's the freakiest place.
Yeah.
It's my
in the
favorite
game.
part of the game.
It's crazy. Yeah. You think like, all right, whatever. What's gonna be next? And then you find the cement paper mache people.
Yeah, you do.
Let's pick it over to Billy because I know he liked this section, and if I go, I'm going to talk at you guys for the next half hour.
So before I replayed this game, this section was the most memorable for me. It was my biggest takeaway from my first playthrough. And so I was really anticipating going through this again, seeing if I had different perspectives. No, it's the exact same feeling I had. Sander Cohen is the creepiest fucking dude in all of Rapture. That dude gives me the chills. He irks me in such weird way. But when I realized playing this again, this really felt like the first time we were trapped. Like you have to play along to get out of this.
Yep.
Like you're not trying to turn the oxygen back on. You're not exploring. No, you're in somebody's cell. Like this is his domain and you have to fight your way out. But he's fucking creepy. The atmosphere is weird.
Yep.
That one part where after I think you take 2 or 3 photos right before you do the last one, and then he gets upset because you weren't a fan. And he starts sending his people after you. You're like, I didn't say anything. And this guy's just a lunatic. Yeah. Sander Cohen is peak. I enjoy that whole area. It's creepy as hell.
Yep. Yeah. Sander Cohen, he forces you to play ball with him, which doesn't feel good because granted, the people he's having you kill are also crazy. They're also not good people, but they are his projects.
Right.
And he's like, all right,
his creation.
Now I want you to kill them. I made them, you kill them, and then photograph them for me.
Yep.
It's fucking wild.
Creepy.
Really creepy. The dude's unhinged. So you go through, you take all the photos, you play ball, you save all the little girls, which is something we've been missing.
I'll ask that at the very end. I've got some questions for how you chose to play.
So you go, you play ball with him. My big question for you guys, though, is he releases you. He gives you everything he said he'd give you, and he does release you.
Yeah.
Did you guys kill Sander Cohen?
So this is one thing. The game crashed a couple times for me.
No.
So the first time I played through that zone, I did kill him. And then I was trying to leave, and it was like, you haven't like saved or harvested any of the little sisters. You need to go back. And I was like, all right. So I went and did that. Was saving the third one, and then crashed. And this game, I don't know if your game doesn't crash, you don't notice, but the autosaves are hot dog shit.
Okay.
Because it was an hour and a half
Ooh.
that I had lost, and I was like, fuck. So I just kind of ran through it, didn't kill him the second time. But yeah, usually I end up doing it. And he ends up being surprisingly difficult if I remember.
He does. Billy, did you kill him?
No, I got the hell out of there.
Yep.
I want it out.
Base, you kill him?
First time through, yes. Every successive playthrough, I don't kill him yet. You get to go to his house later in the game if you didn't kill him.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, and you can actually have an interaction with him, but we'll get there when you get to Rich People Zone.
Shit.
I love this was my favorite section of the game. You ask yourself as a game as you're playing this, how do we one up crazy plastic surgeon who mutilates people? I know, crazy artist who doesn't mutilate people. He encases them still living in basically paper mache,
mhm.
and then that's his art is dead people. Freaky as hell. I also love the lead up before you even get to meet him. You just see a shadow. You're just talking to a shadow. And what the fuck is this guy? I need to know who this is. And then you go, you do his art stuff. This is once again, if you're an explorer, I'm assuming TC found this. I don't know if the others of you found it. There's another secret in this area where this is one of the ones where the game doesn't tell you, click a button and it doesn't say a new thing happened. You just have to go explore. And when you find yourself in a basement with mannequins that's halfway flooded, you find the last little button. I don't remember what the payoff is. I think it's a power to the people machine. But when you click it and you unlock this last little secret, the lights turn out. Okay. You turn around, the mannequins are gone. Oh no. If you choose to do this early in your run, for the rest of the time, there are paper mache spider splicers who will not walk when you look at them, but will just hide on the ceiling and follow you for the rest of the time you're in that zone. And sometimes you'll just be hit and be like, what the fuck was that? Scared the shit out of me. To
Damn.
this day, sometimes I'll be like, fuck, nightmares about the paper mache.
There's something else I want to touch on in this zone. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm fairly sure it's in this zone. Did anybody find Jasmine's room?
Mhm.
Anyone?
Is that in the
Thought it was in Fort Frolic.
brothel?
I don't think.
That's not the one where you have to go
And
to
see
find
her
out.
little ghost. I don't believe her name is Jasmine. I
Okay,
think that's the
that's
different
fair.
lady.
I thought it was Jasmine.
Andrew Ryan's bangmaid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's in Cohenville. I believe that's in a different location, but I could be wrong. It's in a strip club.
Yeah, no, that's in Fort
Well,
Frolic.
there's something that we need to touch on later that I'm fairly convinced of, if I'm remembering correctly, because if I'm being entirely honest with you guys, I did not listen to any of the audio logs this time
Yeah, same.
because I've listened to all of them in the past.
Yeah. So it's the best part, right? Sander Cohen, you end up doing what he asked you to do. You kill his proteges, you take some pictures, and if you didn't kill him, once you play his little game, he does let you
Lets
go.
go, he does.
He's like, all right, peace out. You can come back and visit if you'd like.
Yeah.
No one ever does. No.
I killed him.
I didn't yet.
I killed
So
him.
then we get to go back, and now we can finally try to save this man's family.
Yep.
Yeah, they blow up. That's the big short. Oh God, they blow up.
I thought that happened
It
earlier.
could be before.
I think it was before that.
So
Doesn't matter.
now we have to go find ourselves. We're pissed, and then just to pause really quick because we're about to go do a big thing. We're about to meet Big Daddy Ryan, Mr. Man, the man of the hour. Without giving too much away, did anyone find the special little secret in the storeroom basements?
You're going to need to be a little bit more specific.
So, never would find it unless you happen to go real fast and you go into a very specific room and there's grates where you can look down into the ocean. The life-o-matic machines, they redo anyone with his genetic code. You see Andrew Ryan's corpse floating before you meet Andrew Ryan. You see his corpse floating under a grate, Andrew Ryan. And just passes on along and you're like, what the fuck?
Really?
So he died.
There's literally nowhere else in the game does this mention anything. You just see it says Andrew Ryan, and you see a floating corpse. And it's very small. It's only on the screen for like 5 seconds. Then he disappears forever. And this is prudent because where do we go next? We go to Andrew Ryan's office, and this is where the game really starts to unfold. You realize you've been being played the whole time. He starts to talk to you, but not in an afraid way, in a shouty way, but not in a way that he feels like he's going to die or you're going to die. He's just in control of the situation. So in control that he tells you to run if you kindly. And this, the first time I'm playing it, shatters my mind.
It was crazy.
He just keeps saying, would you kindly, and you're doing everything he's asking you to do, and it clicks. Oh shit. Have I chosen any of these missions for myself, or did I just pick up a radio and some dude's been brain controlling me the whole time?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
I just picked up a radio and this dude's been brain controlling me the whole time. We don't know more yet.
You can know more by that point.
I'll pause and say the Andrew Ryan conflict. How'd it go? How'd we feel about it? It's probably got the number one best quote of the whole game, right? The one that's gonna get stuck in your head.
I want to go last.
Okay, let's start with WB then.
So first playing it, you realize like, well, all right, I've been a tool in another man's game pretty much. And it, it goes back to TC, that, where you've got the tattoos on your wrist. You have been in chains the entire time. Um, yeah, no, I mean, and they're like very briefly before you actually meet Andrew Ryan, right? You go into a room, there's a bunch of pictures and all this stuff, and talks about the Vita chambers and all that shit. So, um, but yeah, no, I mean, it's crazy, and yeah, as you do him in dirty, it's pretty wild.
Billy?
Up to this point, Andrew Ryan was the big bad.
Yeah.
Right? We didn't know any better. We were being brainwashed. We didn't know at that point. But I thought the game did such a good job at your first confrontation with Andrew Ryan. Like you had mentioned, he's not being aggressive. He's not angry. He's not yelling at you. He's talking to you. And I thought that was such a cool way of saying he's not the big bad. Like he's really not the person you're trying to be after this whole time. You've just been following orders unknowingly. So this was different, obviously, because we all played this game before. We knew the big twist. So that's where my perspective was like, okay, yeah, this doesn't feel like the final boss fight. This doesn't feel like the final confrontation with the person. It just felt like a normal conversation with the person you've heard about this entire game. And so, like, as a first time player, I'm sure from what I remember, that twist was just mind blowing. Like, it was so good, so well executed. But the second time, like knowing that this guy truly isn't the big bad we've been after the whole time, it was cool. There's no epic boss music. There's no shouting. There's nothing. It is just a good way of showing like, yeah, you've been a manipulated person this entire time. Run, walk, sit, stand, kill. That was like, whoop, okay, we're going to kill now. So epic. Great part of the game.
Let's take it a level deeper. So what do we know about Andrew Ryan?
Capitalist.
Well, yes. I mean, he's capitalist is correct in using the correct term. It's just that when people think of capitalism these days, they think of a more controlled market, which is what he is entirely against.
Yeah. He wants a completely free market.
Completely free market.
Any man can be anything that you want to be, as long as you, in theory, as long as you do the work, you can be whatever. But there's classism throughout the entire thing.
His whole message is not about wealth or power, but instead will. He's a man of fantastic will. Everything that he does is a force of will.
Yeah.
He built a city on the ocean floor, right? Out of sheer will, he did that.
Yep.
Some spite, maybe, but mostly will.
Sure.
So he's a man of incredible will. He comes and he tells you, are you a man or are you a slave?
Yeah.
Right? And it's like you guys have said, he's talking to you. I'm going to start touching on something I don't know. I don't want to give away Ace's big reveal here, so I'll let him do it. Does he talk to people very often? No.
Even in the books, no.
He's pretty isolatory.
Does not like to talk.
Yeah.
Do you know, you're saying her name isn't Jasmine.
Might be.
I'm thinking her name is Jasmine. So you see her ghost. She's, from what I understand, the lady of the night. Okay. Andrew Ryan's favorite.
Mhm.
All right. You walk into this room, right? And then you have one of those memory ghost things happen. And you can hear her saying, Andrew, I didn't know. Please forgive me.
Yeah.
Right. And then he kills her. Right. It's left up to interpretation, but he does.
Yeah.
He kills her. He's talking to you. Why would he be talking to you? It's not because you're in front of him. He would just kill you. He doesn't have any qualms about that. Why is he talking to an assassin? And he's not, in this moment, this is what occurred to me in this playthrough. In that moment, Andrew Ryan was not intending to die by your hand. He was hoping to blank, 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 break the spell and help you become a man. Trying to make you choose, because a man chooses. Ace, I think this would be a good time for you to go ahead and...
So this is the big reveal. If you have, and all of us have played before, they tell you, by the way, in the surgical department, this twist. If you're willing to stop and look at some pictures, the story's given to you. They also tell you at the very beginning, hey, Vita chambers. They'll bring you back to life. They only work with Andrew Ryan's genetic code.
Yeah.
This should immediately be like, well, then why does this work for me? He's your daddy.
Yep.
You are Andrew Ryan's son.
So I don't know if you do this right before you go into Andrew Ryan's room. I always turn the Vita chamber on because in my head canon, I'd like to believe that when I leave, he gets revived. But also how fucking brutal that Andrew Ryan turned his own Vita chamber off and was like, no, I know how this is going to go.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I
One
said,
of us is not walking out
he's
of here.
trying to. Well, I don't even think he does. He's trying to get you to manifest the will that he knows you have in you to break the brainwashing that's inside of you. It's a fool's errand. It can't be done. Can't be broken the way that he's trying to do it. But he keeps telling him. He's pleading with you. He says, "A slave obeys," and you hit him. He says, "A man chooses," and you hit him. And he says, "A slave," holding his face, "a slave obeys," and you kill him.
Yep.
Epic.
Insane.
Epic.
Absolutely insane.
And the first time you're playing, you're thinking like, "What the how is there more game? What's happening?"
Right,
Like,
yeah.
but we just beat it. But the game even doesn't let you. It tells you right away gameplay. We're not done here. In fact, you're not allowed to sit in this room and contemplate anything because there's 55 alarms and there's robots ready to kill you, and you should probably just leave now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then you head out. This is where the game really divulges its true colors, and we find out who's a big bad. It's actually this guy we've been talking to. It's Atlas. He's mind controlling you. We get a couple pieces of help from one other human NPC that is not willing to kill us, and we get to see her hang around for a little bit.
Yep.
This Tenenbaum,
Yep.
and she's the reasons you don't care. The big sister, or the little sister's caretaker,
Yeah.
and she helps you break the mind control. That said, the first time playing through, I hated this part because I worked my ass off to get so many collectibles and all the, and then the game's like, nope, you have no more powers. You have all this, but what the fuck?
Yep.
That's one of it's the second most frustrating part to me when you have to go on that errand and you have to go get the plasmid that keeps disappearing from you. This is the second most frustrating part to me. But gameplay and story-wise, fascinating. Okay, now we have a new adventure. We've got a new person to go after. If you haven't bothered to look at the story details, we're about to go to Rich People Land and Popper's Drop. Or Acadia Heights, maybe, and Popper's Drop.
Yeah, Acadia Heights.
Rich People's Zone and Poor People's Zone. This is where, if you haven't been paying attention to the environmental storytelling, it matters because you've met the big bad already. You've seen his posters.
Yep.
You may have even had a thought that in a land where capitalism thrives, what happens if like parents die and kids exist, or if you just don't want your kids, or if you lost an arm and you can't work. There's no poorhouses, except for yes, there are. That's a real business you can choose to have, and we've seen this name splashed all over people's places, right? Frank Fontaine's House for the Poor.
Fontaine Industries.
Yep. Fontaine Fisheries.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm getting a little.
But he's
sidetracked.
supposed to be dead,
He
right?
was supposed to be dead.
He
Yep.
is dead. He's also not even Frank Fontaine, if you read the books. Frank Moreland.
Mhm.
Name's Frank Moreland.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, yeah, he's the entire game you're told that he's dead, except by one guy. That the Peachy dude.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
He opened the door and he's like, "Yeah, everyone's saying that Fontaine's dead, but
Peach
you're
Wilkins.
working for him."
Peach
like,
Wilkins.
yeah.
He says, "If I even smell Fontaine on you,
Yep.
yep, I'll kill you."
Also, if you're
Doesn't
willing
have a good sniffer,
to
apparently.
Apparently not.
break the game a little bit, when the Atlas's family blows up and the game also is like, run, there's no time. If you're willing to fight a little bit and go and investigate, there are no bodies in that bathysphere. It's been empty the whole time. There's never been a family.
Yeah.
So the game does give you a couple different tries. If you'd like to break the story early, you're free to.
Yeah. And before it blows up, you can go down and he's like, is my family making any noise in there? Is there any movement? And that's just it until you.
And there's
take it out.
nothing.
Yeah.
So as far as story structure goes, like typical story structure, confronting Andrew Ryan was the climax. Can we all agree?
with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
In my personal opinion, for this playthrough, I think the game, I don't know if it's lacking something or if it's not as good. It doesn't hold up for the first half compared to the second half does not.
Agreed.
I don't know what it was. The reveal and everything was great, but the execution for the second half, I was like, okay, I don't want to say burnt out because I wasn't burnt out. I wasn't tired of playing. I just feel like I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know if that has to do with the story or if it was just such an epic reveal and the second half was a letdown compared to the reveal, but I don't know. I
definitely get that because you're right. The climax of the story is confronting Andrew Ryan, right? This man of industry, this sheer power of will around this man, and he's put out so how would I say unceremoniously. He's just murdered with a golf club,
Right.
by his own by a creature of his own making, really.
Mhm.
And then after that, you feel the void, you feel that power vacuum, and sure, Fontaine, you plug his gene card in and Fontaine Industries pops up. But it's not he doesn't replace Andrew Ryan.
No.
I think part of it, what's nice about it is that you're trying to correct a wrong because while you may not agree with a lot of what Andrew Ryan's done, what you've done is, and I'm not to get overly religious or anything, but you've taken God out of the kingdom of God. You've taken the essence of what made Rapture Rapture, and now it's a playground for deviants. That's all it is.
Yeah.
No, I agree. The second half, because we can kind of wrap up the story of poor people land and rich people zone at the same time. Really, all you're doing at this point is tracking down enough shit that you need to go find Atlas, and you find out I got to be a big daddy. I got to go do a couple things in the in between here.
Yeah.
Being a big daddy is the worst fucking part of the game.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I save. I'll ask again later, but I save the little sisters every time.
Yep.
Just in a softy like that, and you actually get not that it's like a difference of 100 Adam across the whole game if you kill all of them or save all of them.
Yeah.
Save all of them, it's not a big deal. That said, watching them and protecting them while they harvest,
Sucked.
it's the worst. If I could have an auto skip feature for that part, I would like the game so much more.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I'll give to the rich people zone to Acadia Heights, it is cool if you didn't kill Sander Cohen, you can go into his apartment and he has splicers dancing to waltz music in his house. If you let them finish, he'll walk down. You'll get the key to that hidden lock chest back at
Fort Frolic.
Fort Frolic. Thank
Yeah.
you. If you disrupt the music, he runs down and kills you.
Interesting.
Doesn't care that you've broken into his house or that you've stolen from him,
Right.
but you better let my fucking guys dance.
Yeah.
Let him finish.
Yep.
I think that's hilarious.
Man loves to finish.
Yeah. Which man doesn't love the finish?
I think the Popper's Drop was really lacking. If you read the books, Atlas Fontaine has a huge mass of poor people. He has a poor people's army, and these are the people who are the most strung out on splicers. This could have felt like a good second half if I had to go into Popper's Drop. And if you play the second Bioshock, which I'll never do because it's a worthless game.
It is a worthless
You
game.
play it once, you're good. The second one does that.
He plays a Big Daddy the whole time.
Which for like the first hour, you're like, hell yeah, this is what it's always meant to
No,
be.
man. It felt like
And
the
then-
last sequence of Bioshock 1, but the entire game for Bioshock 2.
Yeah.
And the big bad in there, and I don't even know if
not
I
worth
finished it. It wasn't nearly as grabbing. They tried to have the gravitas that they had with Andrew Ryan with someone else, and it's like,
Yeah.
not at all.
Agreed. The only thing I'm saying is that second half would have been better if Atlas had his army of poor. Then it would have
Yeah.
felt like, holy shit, everyone hates me. What
Yeah.
the fuck? No, it's a mostly empty landscape after you kill Andrew Ryan.
Yeah.
The game's over. And then you make yourself a big daddy. I think it's about time to talk about the final fight or lack thereof.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably the biggest ding against Bioshock. That final fight's a joke.
Joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So easy. Especially with it's not the rivet gun. You don't get the rivet gun until the second game, but the bolt thrower, whatever it's called. You upgrade that thing, and then you hit him with it like 5 or 6 times on the hard difficulty, and it takes him out of that stage. Right now, granted, for the last one, I had to just light him on fire instead. But all that was snapping at him and then letting him burn until he was dead.
Yeah.
That was it.
How'd you guys feel about the final fight?
So backtracking just a minute. We're talking about the second half of the game, and we're all kind of in agreement that like, yeah, it was a letdown.
Drops.
I fucking hate escort missions.
Yeah.
What we were talking, we briefly all hated that, but my God, that was one of my biggest takeaways. I think that's why the second half was such a letdown. I was like, I'm doing shit I don't want to do now.
Yeah.
I'm doing run around the map, try to collect stuff, and then I'm doing escort missions.
And
I was
it's
like, this is a
pain.
yeah, and it just the
You
whole
get to
thing-
be a big daddy.
yeah,
Right?
That should be a huge
Oh my
payoff.
God.
They should have
It's
given
not-
you a drill, man.
I
They
and
should've
I got
given
to
you a drill.
escort while I'm a big daddy. It's like that send a swarm of enemies at me. Let me take 50 of them on at once.
Or shit.
Like just
Yeah.
Maybe
Let me
escort
do that
one.
shoulder charge into
Yeah.
the whole crowd of people, just obliterating them
Yeah.
like the Big
Give
Daddies
me
do throughout the
escort
game.
one through a crowd of people, and then make me walk along the sea floor.
Mhm.
Give me some reason
Yeah.
that this
Yeah.
made a shit. Like it didn't matter.
You're
Yeah.
right.
That
Hey,
sucked.
That would have been cool if you could have, if they're like, oh, he collapsed the tunnel, and you're like, no,
Big
no
Daddy,
problem.
I don't
Yeah.
give a
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
I'll walk out the airlock and trudge along the sea floor, and
Yeah.
and then you get another chance there to actually look upon what's actually been wrought here, which is a decaying dream that one man managed to build and then lose.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so you're going through all these crappy missions, and then you're like, okay, I'm at the end, big epic boss fight, and that epic boss fight sucked.
Yeah.
And it's just such a letdown. I don't know. They just that whole thing after the climax, the whole game just like sucked the air out of you, and I was doing stuff I did not want to do,
Yeah.
which sucks. But It did its purpose, but that was our first experience of like a true boss fight in the game. And
Yeah.
it's weird to implement something like that for the last thing you're gonna do.
Hard to
in the
do,
game.
too.
It is so
It's
difficult.
a glorified Big Daddy fight.
Yeah, and so I don't know. I wish they would have done something different. Maybe you're in a room trapped with like 2 or 3 big daddies, and you got to do stuff while that. They just implemented like a whole new 1v1 mechanic into the game. It just felt out of place.
I
Yeah.
agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sander Cohen's area felt more like a final boss.
Sander Cohen's that's Bioshock
Yeah,
to me.
I agree. I agree. If they would have done something like that for the final area, you're in Fontaine's world and he created some shit and you got to take care of it. So like that would have been different, but turning into some fucking crazy big monster thing. I was like, what
Well, you didn't even feel like it though.
No,
That's
you
my
didn't.
biggest thing about it. Is like if you're gonna turn me into a Big Daddy, you gotta give
Make
me
me
the
feel
drill.
like it.
Yeah.
You gotta give me the drill, man.
The second
Let
one's
me
fun
pick
to play.
something up and just tear him limb from limb, spinning him in the air real quick.
Yeah.
That's why the second one's fun to play for about an hour. Because
Yeah.
you're like, this is what it was supposed to be like. But then that's no longer a fun game because you are.
The hacking
Big
system
Daddy.
in that game. I mean, we're not reviewing Bioshock 2, but
And we never will.
that.
Let's be talking about bad games.
We
Then we
might.
can talk about
We
that.
might.
WB, you want to wrap us on that final fight before I have a string of some other questions that are just overall.
Yeah, just disappointing. Yeah, just that second half, honestly, like not very memorable.
Yeah.
Just felt like a burden.
The
felt
game ended
disjointed.
after Andrew Ryan.
Yeah, no, it did. Yeah. I mean, yeah, no, that's about it. I don't have anything else to add on.
I think they could have saved it for two things. One, and this is kind of leading into the next question. I'm going to ask you what you did with the young ladies. Did you save them? Did you not save them? There is literally no difference in the final fight. If you save all of them, don't save all of them, save half, don't save. Same exact playthrough, same exact gameplay. It would have felt better if I got more right now rewards for killing these little girls.
Yeah.
But then the final boss was harder. And maybe, that's who kills him, right? They all stab him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If I kill every little sister, make that final boss fight. Yeah, I have all the guns I've ever wanted. Make that hard as shit for me then.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. They
But
keep
there's no
becoming
difference, so
here.
there's no change. And they even give you a gift before you head up. So if you're lacking on ammo, you're not. You're going to go up fully fleshed. It turns into a button simulator.
Yep.
I'm just going to wait my turn to press X. All right, we're going to stab this guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the little sisters help. This is where I'm going to go. I always save all of them.
Yeah.
WB, did you save those little sisters?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, because you get bonus Adam or whatever it is, every few that you save. So it's, I don't know. I never really relied on like the plasmids as much as I did the weapons. So that didn't really bother me if I got less.
Billy, did you save these little sisters?
Yes, I did. I don't murder little girls.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
See, did you save little sisters?
Every one of them.
Yep.
Excellent.
We're not heartless here. That's good to know. None of us have to fight. I was hoping if there was going to be a disparity here that there'd only be one person who fucked up so we could all hold him down and punch him in his legs until he couldn't walk. But doesn't
the
need to happen.
only difference, by the way, is a difference in like 200 Adam across the whole game. Not that much unless you
No.
need plasmids.
Mhm.
And then additionally, the only other difference is an ending cutscene. The
Yep.
difference between you bring all the little girls home and they're your family and then you die, or you become the next Atlas, basically.
Yeah.
It's my turn to have power.
Yeah.
And it's the
And
only
it's
difference.
like the tone for that second one where you become Atlas or whatever, the next superpower. It's like if you killed all of them, it's angrier. But if you saved some and killed some, it's like you're still kind of good. I don't know. It was just weird.
It
like
changes dialogue, but not the actual ending.
Yeah,
It
it
just
doesn't
says
change-
like,
yep.
you had flaws.
Yeah.
I think you can kill 2 and still get the good ending.
I don't
I
think you
could save
can.
them all.
I think you have to save them all because
Yeah.
the first time I played, I didn't know what I was doing, and I think I actually hit the wrong button.
Murderer.
Right. Well, yeah, I murdered the little girl. I was like, that's not what I wanted to happen in my first playthrough back in 2007. But yeah, I still got the bad ending. The splicer jumps out of the bathysphere and murders a bunch of innocent standerbys, and I was like, oh,
Whoops.
whoops. I was pretty good.
Mhm.
Right?
You
Yeah.
know.
I only have a couple more wrap-up questions because we're more or less at the end. What difficulty did you guys play on?
Medium.
I think medium for
Medium.
this one. Yeah.
Yeah,
I just
same.
wanted to get through it.
You got soft hands.
You
I played on hard. I didn't play on the hardest one. I have beat on the hardest difficulty, but for this run through, we were on a bit of a time crunch. So.
Mhm.
It really scales. I recommend if you really want to play on the hardest, and then really try your hardest to not use some of the crazy weapons. It makes it you can get another round of replayability with
You
it if
really
you're
can.
focusing on wrench and stealth on the hardest difficulty. It becomes almost like a Dead Space survival horror.
Yes, it
It's
does.
worth at least one.
Well, you're gonna run into an area where, like, all right, I got this wrench, and I'm out of ammo, and I got to get into that room, and they're gonna kill me. They're gonna kill the shit out of me. So you go in there, and maybe you kill one if you're lucky, and then you die. You're like, all right, well that's one down, and then you just do it again and again if you're bad at the game, which like I was the first time I played on the hardest difficulty. But yeah, it's certainly rewarding playing it on the hardest.
It's also rewarding to use the camera. I mean, it's kind of
Mhm.
a pain in the ass, but if you're taking up
Yeah.
pictures of Houdini splicers, you get to be invisible. It's the best.
Yeah,
You
the
That's
camera
weird.
the camera was my life.
can do whatever you want.
Did you
after
guys
that.
see the camera?
I did
No.
actually.
Literally
No.
all the time.
No.
It is the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it takes every threat to be like, man, these guys suck, and there's like 6 of them. To like, I'll hit him once, and I'll hit him once,
Yeah.
and I'll hit him once, and now there's only 3 of them left.
Yeah.
It's real easy.
It's worth it for the spider spike.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah. All right, 2 more questions for you. We really have 3 bosses in this thing. Andrew Ryan, I'm gonna count. I mean, you don't really do much. You got Atlas, you got Sander Cohen, and then you have Dr. Steinman. What was your favorite boss/zone? Where did you feel like, oh, this is fucking awesome? I know everyone's gonna say Sander Cohen, but I like Steinman. I think the initial medical pavilion, it's so creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel so out of place. It feels surgical. It feels like this dude has the ability to actually tangibly hurt me.
Mhm.
That one sticks with me. That's the best boss, if you can even call him that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one, I don't remember his name, but the frozen dude who throws fire grenades.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably my favorite because the doctor dude, I just peppered him with buckshot until he stopped moving. It wasn't a problem.
I like the doctor one a lot because that was the first big one that you kind of got to. It felt rewarding to get through him. The whole area leading up to it was creepy. The
Mhm.
atmosphere which you fight him is also creepy and very deadly if you're not paying attention.
Yeah. There's
Yeah, you'll get jacked up pretty quickly. So yeah, I think that was a good one because it kind of set the tone for the game, what you should be working on, what you suck at, what you need to get better at. Yeah, I enjoyed him a lot, but Sander going, man, that whole area felt like a boss fight.
man, that's tough. I'd probably go with the medical dude as well. I like his speech right before.
This one, too pretty.
Yeah, yeah. No, it just
This
really
one too
shows
symmetrical.
the madness and
Yeah.
everything that has become Rapture. Like it's just if you give unlimited power to people, or I don't know.
And my last question before we get our final how many lives left. There are a shitload of plasmids in this game if you're willing to explore. Some of them are fucking useless.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to know what's plasmid you used. Tell me your one that, yeah, this one was awesome. And if you use some of them, tell me some of the shittier ones. I have some favorites that are absolutely fucking worthless. So let's start over here with TC. What plasmids did you go with that were like, hell yeah? And did you find any that you were like, why the hell is this in the game?
So I was using the frost one quite a bit. The big daddies. Come to find out, you can't actually do damage to them while they're frozen. Didn't know that, so I stopped using that. Although it was useful, catch your breath, reload your gun, and then I also found out the chemical thrower freezes them for way longer, so that went right out the window. I relied mostly on the electroshock and what's the fire one called?
Incinerate.
Incinerate, yeah. And so when I got the electroshock and incinerate 3, the game was over.
Yeah.
You just like, okay, well, I'm almost out of ammo, so I'm just gonna light this big daddy on fire and then stand behind this pillar and okay, yep, other side of the pillar, light him back on fire, and I'm good to go. He's dead.
Did you get any that were absolute dog water?
I've played the game a few times, so I just knew which ones to avoid. What I will say is I did not find telekinesis to be that helpful. I knew it was, but narratively. So like there's a locked room with a bar door in Atlas's headquarters where you can just grab like a full restock of ammo. Just take it. But outside of that, I don't know why, but it never occurred to me to throw things at people.
No.
It's busted. Apparently, if you read the speed run, it's a programming, it's a coding error. It is not supposed to be as busted as it is, but it always hits the head and it always does like critical damage.
Damn.
It's basically an auto kill the whole game. It's fucking amazing. Billy, Hit me with your plasmids.
I love telekinesis. I know we've talking
the
about
best
quite
one.
I really enjoyed it. I didn't use it my first playthrough, but this one, I heard all the hooting and hollering about it, and I was like, okay. There's nothing more satisfying than picking up a corpse and throwing a corpse at somebody to make another corpse, and they use that corpse to take out another person.
Infinite corpse glitch.
Infinite corpses, dude. Yeah, it was a lot of fun doing that. The one where you can make like a dummy
Yeah.
yourself. I thought it was dumb at first. But near the end game, I used that quite a bit to get around like the turrets and all that stuff. So I ended up using that quite a bit. Yeah, I didn't use Incinerate once.
You actually don't need it for the game.
I don't think
you need it once unless you're really creative and you can get around that ice wall other ways. After you use that,
wasn't it?
I loved it.
Yeah.
It got me a lot of free shit.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look, a frozen door. And then you go in there and just get like, 9 health packs. And you're like, good.
It's so clutch. Yeah.
yeah, BB.
I was a big electroshock and incinerate as well. Pretty much throughout the entire time. Only used telekinesis when I had to for the one part where you have to blow up the wall at the end of the medical facility, and I never touched it again. So, if I remember correctly, I didn't use it this time, but there's like that wind trap one.
Yeah,
it was like
cyclone trap.
Yeah, absolute dog shit. It's just kind of.
I remember distinctly using that one a lot in my first playthrough of this game, being like, ha-sha-sha, and then they walk through it, and then they get back up, and you're like, shit, run away.
All
right. Again, telekinesis is the god of all plasmids. If you're willing to do a little exploring in Arcadia, the worst plasmid in the game, I don't know what it's actually called. I call it not the bees.
Yeah.
You go into a room with bees, you're hurt the whole. There's no reason for you to be in there. There's nothing besides a bee plasmid. It hurts you the whole time you're in there. You're thinking, oh shit, yeah, I get to do it. It is worthless. It's like 1.5 seconds of like sting, sting, sting. All it does is piss people off.
Mhm.
And you're just shooting bees. And it uses so much fucking Eve.
Bee.
Worthless. Yeah, and you're just being.
That one gives me the heaves because I'm allergic.
It is totally worthless. Anyway, enough about us taking this nice little stroll down memory lane.
We got one more question we usually ask. Oh, if you guys are Jack, how are you doing? How are you living? Jason, are you making it?
All right, let's see. Where am I going to die?
8.
Eventually, I'll die. I'm a good swimmer, so I think I'd get down there. I'd make it up there. I'd probably do the radio. I'm pretty sure the minute that they were like, grab a wrench and beat this dude's fucking head in, I'd be like, I want to go home, man. This sucks.
Yeah, send me back up.
I'm just going to wait by the bathysphere. I don't know. I'm out. See ya.
Yeah, I mean, so do I have free will or no?
I think
don't-
this is more of a conversation about constitution,
Yeah,
right?
I
Because you
mean-
don't have a choice for the majority of the game.
Yeah.
The choices you do have, you can leave it open to your interpretation.
I mean, if I had, like, if the only way for me to get out was to beat someone up with a wrench, I don't even think I could do it unless, yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Just
It's all right.
try to find a nice room to drink and eat cream pies or something.
Love some cream pies.
I think
Tell us,
that-
Billy.
Yeah, I don't know. If it was a you must do this or else you're going to die, of course, I'm going to do my best to do that thing.
Mhm.
Only having a wrench for the first part of it's going to be a hard experience. These people climb on walls and shit like that. But man, when I got the plasmids, I'd be having myself a grand old time. That's for sure. Be lighting stuff on fire, shocking
Yeah.
things. I think that would be pretty wicked.
Yes.
I think I would get up to a certain point. When it comes to like confronting Fontaine, I'd be very pissed off. So yeah, I'd absolutely go after the guy.
I'm going to be honest with you. When you kill Ryan and then you're with Tenenbaum and the little sisters and they're like, no, you got to go back out and do more adventuring. I'm no longer mind controlled. Real talk. I'm probably just, I guess it's just my family. I have 75 daughters and a woman who might be like 80. I'm not really sure. And this is just my life now. I just live here. I'll die one day. It is what it is.
Hell yeah. Yeah. No, it's great.
I think I do all right. I think that, you put me in the situation again where, for whatever reason, come to find out it's mind control. I'm super motivated to get to where I'm going. And I see some bastard calling me names climbing on the wall. That's just going to piss me off more. You're damn right I'm going to beat you to death with this wrench. Get down here.
Yeah.
You don't belong. You belong on the floor.
And then if I do have my senses about me, I do have my own agency. It's going to go one of two ways. I'm going to do exactly how the game plays out, kill Atlas or Fontaine, whatever his name is. Or I'm going to become a splicer because like Billy said, I'm going to be like, I can shoot bees out of my ah!
I can never die.
That's right. I'm God.
I don't think
So
I'd mess with the big daddies though.
No.
In real life,
No.
I'd stay far away
Yeah,
from
there's no
them.
way, no.
Uh-uh,
yeah,
man.
I'm clever. I don't think I'm that clever.
Mm-mm.
All right. Well, let's give ourselves a final wrap up. I'll give my first lives because I'm nostalgia blind. So you can pretty much discount everything I say after my rating. I'm going to give this 4 out of 4. I play this every year. It lives in my brain, even though the second half of the game is a letdown and a disappointment. It's a 4 out of 4 for me, purely from nostalgia. Let's bring it over to WB for final rating.
I think if I was going off just what I remember and just my nostalgia, I would give it a 4 out of 4. Playing it again, I don't know if it's the remaster has some bugs and I got stuck and my game crashed, so that kind of killed a little bit of my buzz, but I would give it a 3.5. I mean, for what it did for the gaming genre, was pretty impressive, and just the technical feat that it is. Being made in 2007 or whatever, it's pretty crazy, and it's a beautiful game. So I think it deserves 3.5.
TC, what's your final rating?
Bioshock stands out in my mind as the standard to beat for FPS narrative games. It may not be the most jaw-dropping experience with the gameplay alone, but accompanied by the story, lore, and atmosphere, it is one of the most satisfying games to play. Bioshock is also a perfect length. It does not overstay its welcome and ends while still fresh in your mind, leaving you wanting more but also feeling complete. Don't bother with a second playthrough, as the only ending you should concern yourself with is saving those poor girls. 3.5 out of 4.
And Billy,
Yeah,
final rating.
it's a damn good game. If it wasn't for the second half, it'd probably be around a 3.8. But the second half, man, it just drugged on. It made me just wanted to finish.
Mhm.
I just wanted to get it over with.
I
So,
want to finish.
yeah, so I'd put it at about 3.4. I
Okay.
think it's a damn good game. It holds up to this day. It's classic. Love it.
Well, I had a lot of fun being everyone's dad today. Who's daddy next?
Congratulations, listeners. It is going to be me.
Oh, Billy. Billy.
Yes.
Billy's our dad.
Help us, Dad.
All right. So next episode, we're going to take a trip down to Fabletown, and we are going to be undoing the mysteries in The Wolf Among Us. Very,
shit!
very,
Among Us.
very excited to play this game with you guys. Yeah, we'll talk more about it when we get there.
All right.
Hell yeah!
See you guys
Until
later.
next time, I've been Ace.
I'm TC.
I'm WB.
And I'm Billy. Thank you guys for joining us, and game hard, gamers.